I want to say something to those who care. There's probably not very many people who do, but I'll be clear about my point regarding my comments about slavery and Presbyterianism. Obviously, Presbyterians in America are not racist anymore. History is complicated. The point of my video is, if you're going to have a ministry that tries to undermine the Seventh-day Adventist Church and you're going to lie, I'm going to point that out, that you're a liar. And then when you get shown how foolish you are in your arguments, because you don't look at context, because that's what anti-SDA people often do, they're not careful at all. And so they don't focus on the actual disagreements that could be productively talked about in a way that doesn't slander, misrepresent, and mislead people. So I'm not condemning because of racism necessarily a whole denomination, although I think their doctrine is wrong. But their doctrine and slavery don't necessarily, they're not necessarily slavers because their theology is bad or wrong. But if you're going to go out of your way to try to undermine Adventists by lying about the founders' position on racism and slavery, and you're going to pretend like the person trying to undermine the validity of a person because they're racist, and then it turns out they're not racist, and your mission is to undermine that church by showing things. Yeah, people try to undermine Adventists because they didn't have everything right at the beginning. Yeah, but then they changed their minds. They were able to change their minds. When was the last time the Presbyterians changed one of their doctrines? Okay, so the point is, that's a good thing. Proving that the early Adventist church wasn't infallible doesn't undermine Protestant thinking. I think that's a good thing. Okay, this is a mistake to think that that's bad. The point is, what do the Adventists believe? What kind of conclusions did they come to? Where do we sit now? What do we affirm now? If you're concerned about Adventists and their doctrines, let's talk about what we believe now and do it in a fair manner. Talking about what people used to believe but changed their mind when truth came, that's a good thing. Trying to undermine someone because they had something wrong, but then they changed their mind to something correct. Let's talk about what we believe now. If you're going to try to undermine Adventists by claiming Ellen White's racist, turns out she's not, you should be repenting, not doubling down on your stupidity. The point of me pointing out that Presbyterians owned slaves and that their leadership was actually racist is just to point out the hypocrisy of the critics who mislead and lie and then double down on it. May God have mercy on their souls.